filming, and how did you account for the change in personalities of the people knowing there was cameras on them all the time?
So the question was, how much time did you spend with them before you started filming, and how did you account for the change in personality that you would get once the cameras were on them all the time?
Answer your first part, we were there with cameras, but not really shooting for like the first week or so. And that was just like drinking chai and drinking rum and getting sick and stepping in sewage. All those things were very important to get out of the way early on. And then we were like starting to get more friendly. And these are performers, so when the cameras are on them, they are extremely comfortable, which is like the flip side of the same coin. It's also bad because these people are like, oh, there's a camera. Let me like, you know, and it was the first like couple weeks, there's very little footage from that in the movie because it's like canned lines that's like, oh, we live in this colony, it's our parents, and then we're getting destroyed and blah, 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 blah. And it was the same thing, and it wasn't connecting with us because we needed to be there over and over again. And I remember it was like 3 weeks in when we came in like the hottest summer I've ever experienced in my life. And they came in and they're like, what are you guys still doing here? And we said, like, we're not here to, like, we're not doing a piece on, we're not, like, this isn't like an expose, this isn't like a magazine thing. We're here to, like, make a movie about what's happening, and we're going to keep coming back. And, like, you know, and that's really when we started to, like, become friends, and they started to, like, okay, well, I guess let's just, like, go to work, and I'll show you my magic show. And so it was after about, like, 3 weeks, and I can remember exactly.
Back in the back here.
Do these artists, do they perform only for their countrymen, or is this something if a tourist went to New Delhi that the tourist would be able to see?
So the question is, would you be able to see it as a tourist if you went to New Delhi, or is it only for people in India?
Yeah, I think you can, as a tourist, go there. There are NGOs, and that website, which is twdfilm.com, can put you in touch with people, which I think is great for the artists there and great for the cause in general, because if you want to do something, if you want to influence, just like give the art credibility and the people who do it credibility and like be interested in it, and then you can turn this around. I think as a tourist, it's right now very hard to go in there. When I walked in, I like sidestepped past people freebasing heroin, and you know, it's a little bit challenging. I think there are some organized tours, but they're not like, it's not like a regular part of Indian tourism. So you would have to seek it out. But if you're interested, see me after.
Over here.
Has the film been shown in India, and how was it received?
The question is, has the film been shown in India, and how was it received?
Yeah, that's a great segue to. It has been shown to the performers, and but it hasn't been released in India. The way you release films there is like very different than the way you release films here. But one of our executive producers is Guneet Manga, and she's like a big sort of independent cinema film producer, and she's arranging for us apparently a very large release as far as documentaries go. And we're hoping that in the beginning of 2015, we're going to go there. And I'm not sure about how it will be received. The people who we've shown it there so far are really moved by it, but obviously the context is different. So we'll see, but I'm very excited about it. We're planning that like literally as we speak.
We have time for one more right here.
Yeah.
What is the reaction of the state and the federal governments towards this issue? Are there any state or federal or political persons or organizations who are interested in defending this colony? At the moment we hear a lot about government and politics of the right in India. But are there any people in government or politics who are attempting to defend this colony?
So the question was, are there people in the current government that are attempting to defend the colony?
Yeah, it's worth noting that the colony was sold under the last administrations. There was elections, so the Congress Party is out, BJP is in. That doesn't mean that it's any less corrupted, it's any less anything than the last administration. So we'll have to see. I think that's one of the reasons why it's stalling now, is because the new administration is trying to get up to speed. But keep in mind that the government is the one who sold this land to the developers. So they are very much pushing for this to be redeveloped. There are people, I think there is some sort of oversight. I don't know how much I trust that, but there is some sort of oversight, which is like they're trying to build artist spaces, and we'll see. But in general, what they're doing, this piece of land is very valuable. It's close to one of the most valuable parts of Delhi, and so they want to wipe it out and build the first ever skyscraper and luxury shopping complex, and I don't see any way of stopping that.